Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy in, phase three. I had sushi last night inside. Not that I'm against patios, but it doesn't have a patio. So it was nice and refreshing to see girlfriends and eat inside. So that was lovely. I hope you guys are all doing lots of things in phase three that you have been missing. Before I get into the questions and the real estate update, and the happy news. I just wanted to remind you guys about the contest this month for July. So obviously you have till July 31st, and then the winner will be told on August 1st. So you can nominate anybody you want as long as they live in Simcoe County and as long as they are over the age of 18. And you just have to email info@crippshomes.com. Hi, Sherry. Again, info@crippshomes.com. And you can say, like, Sherry, for example, can say, hey, I'm Sherry. I want to nominate George or Rebecca or whoever, and this is why I want to nominate them. It can be for their smile. It can be for them being a single mom. It can be for them, helping you 5 years ago and you never really said thank you or whatever. But so just the contest is $1,000 giveaway. Okay, so we're doing it every month, but July is our first month. So if you guys have not entered somebody yet, you still have time again till the end of this month. Thank you for popping in, Sherry. Have you done anything phase three related yet? I was saying I had sushi last night, so that was yummy. Inside sushi, not takeout sushi. Hi, Scotty. I can't see in that little bubble who that is. It's hard to see. It hasn't told me yet. There's like a leg on here. Okay. So I'm going to do questions first. So this question came from Matt. Happy Wednesday live. It was like pouring rain earlier, so when I knew it was going to rain today, I was like, I need to be bright and colorful. Oh, hi, Carol. How are you? You were the little circle. I couldn't see who it was. Hi, Scotty. Do you like my earrings? They're summery. Okay, so back to the question. Sorry, I get easily sidetracked. So Matt from Barrie said, my neighbor wants to put up a fence. There are currently no fences to my left or my right. Do you think I should do the whole backyard and be done with it? Thank you, Matt, for writing in. So you guys can write in here in the comments and I'll answer questions, or you can write between now and next Wednesday's live and I'll answer them next week. Or if I get too many, I'll just answer them in email. So Matt's asking if his one neighbor is doing a fence, if he should do, the other two sides and then gates or whatever. If you have the funds to, I would, just because I like matching. Like, I hate when floors are all different. This one's a light laminate, this one's a dark laminate, this one's a 7mm, this one's 11mm, that one's a hardwood, that one's a carpet. So it bothers me. So fences bother me also. So if you can afford to do it all, I would. But if you can't, then don't worry about it and just maybe keep the guy's contact or the girl's contact that's doing the fence. So when you do the other sides, you can have the same person do it so it matches, okay? Hi, Maria. Yeah, thank you. They're from Ardene. They were like 3 for, I don't know, $12 or something like that. And sushi was delicious. Okay. Okay. Before I do like my statistics and stuff, and I think it's happy news, and maybe you don't if you smoke, but over 1 million people have quit smoking since COVID and the whole pandemic, which I think is amazing because I dislike cigarettes. And 41% of people that were polled said they quit because of the pandemic. And like the main reasons were, they said lack of money or lack of social drinking. And there were some people that said, just the tie of the virus to smoking and just trying to be better health or whatever. So more than 1 million people have quit smoking, I think is amazing. But I don't know if it counts e-cigarettes because I feel like a lot of people smoke e-cigarettes now. Hi, Carol. Hi, Courtney. How big are the kids, Courtney? Too big. They're probably like my mid, like above my waist. Your son for sure. Not your daughter, but hope you're amazing and well. And I hope you got the invite for the drive-in. It'll come not any week, any day now if you haven't already, because we can't do our regular parties. Okay, so people quit smoking. Done of that. So another question came from Frank in Snow Valley. So Frank said, I really want a detached, huge shop as I'm always doing lots of projects. I want to make the shop 2,500 square feet. Our house is 1,720 square feet. My wife thinks that will look ridiculous. What should we do keeping resale in the back of our mind? So thank you, Frank, for writing in. I would say it depends how big your property is. So if you have like a smaller property, I definitely wouldn't put that big of a shop on. But if you have like an acre or two or whatever, then I mean, I've seen it a lot of times. And then even if you think of like a farm, there's like an old century house or whatever, and there's like this massive barn or massive, a lot of people like garages. I turned my current garage into a walk-in closet, so I wouldn't care about that big garage. I'd probably turn it into 3 apartments, to be honest. But if your lot's big enough, I would put it. And if it's not, and you're like going to the township and saying, how far from the border can I be, like, and making it as big as possible, I think that would look funny. So then I wouldn't do it, okay? But thank you for writing in. He's 4'1". Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Good. I'm glad you got the invite for the drive-in. Just because we normally do our parties, right? Spring and fall, and the fall one September 12th, and I don't think that'll happen either. So this is just a fun one in between. Okay. So there was a teacher, and again, I do random for anybody that hasn't watched this before. I don't do just real estate statistics. I do random happy news, real estate statistics, and then people ask questions. So some random happy news, not to say that somebody died is happy news. However, it's part of the story. So somebody passed away who was a teacher, and she was a teacher for 30 years. She died at 58. But you know how like normally people would bring flowers to a funeral or send flowers or whatever. So she asked for people, it was like her dying wish, that they bring backpacks full of supplies for kids and, pencil cases and folders and markers and what have you, lunch pails and whatever. So the, funeral hall was loaded with backpacks. So that was really cute, I thought. And again, because I like different news. I don't like all bad news. I like good news. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Comey. Okay. And then, again, more random news. In India, I'm going to have to read the name properly. Uttar Pradesh, there's lots of space there. And so 2 million people were able to like be distanced there and be masked and everything. And they planted. I want to get the exact number right because it's a lot. 20 million trees this week. So they planned it before COVID. It's not like, oh, COVID and we're going to do this. It was planned before COVID, but they didn't want to stop just because of COVID. So they planted 20 million trees, and by 2030, they want a third of the area to be covered in trees. And that's the size of basically Texas and New Mexico combined. So anyways, that is that, and I just thought it was cool because obviously trees are amazing. Hi, Alicia. Hello, Bilo. Sorry, I know you called earlier, but I was getting prepped for this. Okay, so the next question is from Graham and Crystal in Bradford. Every single door in our house is a yellowish cream color, and it drives us crazy. Do you think we should just paint them or get all new doors? So thank you, first of all, Graham and Crystal, for writing in. Again, you guys can write in the comments questions if you have them, or between now and next week, you can message me them and I will answer them next week. Or if I get too many, I will just email, answer you, or text or whatever, okay? So Graham and Crystal's questions about doors being kind of a yellowish color. I would say it depends on the style. So if they're an older style and flat, then I would definitely get new doors. But if they're fine and they just kind of look like they were never primed or whatever, then I would just paint them. Unless you have a lot of wear and tear on the house, whether it's dogs or kids or whatever, and you think if you're going to paint it and then it's going to get all yucky around the knobs, because kids are grabbing at it or your dog always jumps at the back door or something. So depending on style, if they're older, and then depending on the wear and tear of your house. If it's the wear and tear of your house is pretty high, I would just get new doors. But if you're pretty, pristine with everything, then I would just paint them. Okay? Thank you for writing in. I'm usually never... It lets you participate, Allison. Hi, Jim. How are you? Jim, have you been out golfing yet? Your thing is golfing. My thing was sushi last night. Okay, I just answered a question. Who is that? Oh, yeah, there. Um, oh, yeah, one more thing before I do the real estate statistics is there's a non-profit organization. And what they're doing is basically anybody who's been married before, you're welcome to donate your wedding dress to this foundation. And then they basically have frontline workers that are getting married this year. They can come in to one of 7 places that they have so far, and then they can go through dresses and get them for free. So it's just like them saying thank you to the frontline workers, which I thought was pretty cool. Um, Paint the doors and upgrade the knobs. That's what Allison would do. I agree if there's not a lot of wear and tear. I can see you, Allison. I can't see Finn, but I can see you. Finn is Allison's cat, who's very orange and lovely. Okay, so real estate. I was afraid if I wasn't going to do numbers first. Oh, yeah. So Stats Canada today or yesterday came out with a housing price index, and basically was saying that even post-pandemic, they're still expecting that not everybody will go back to the core. So they won't go back to Toronto or whatever. Obviously, some of them will, but not everybody will. So that'll push people out into the suburbs, which helps, us, you, me, living in the suburbs, because that helps, more people come to us, which brings our, purchase price up. And if you own, that's good. If you don't own yet, then that is a bit frustrating because then you're against more people. But that's good. And then developers are already grabbing up land. And obviously it's cheaper to buy 10 acres up here than in Toronto. Toronto, you'd be tearing down a bunch of stuff to get that. But so they're buying up here, and they're making a lot of things like work from home. So they're saying instead of just like a regular 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath home, they're going to do 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath plus den, so people can have a home office. So they're already starting to plan that because they're seeing that as a new foreseeable future thing for Ontarians. Hi, Ali. So that was that. I think it just came out yesterday. And last week I talked a lot about June 2020 versus June 2019, and then I did like June 2020 versus May 2020, but I did not do July in July. Okay. Hi, Brandy. Hi, Tyler. Brandy, I don't think we'll have our adult party this fall. It's September 12th, but I know you were at last year's. But we are doing a drive-in thing, so you can ask, I forget who you came with, Yvonne, I think you came with. We're doing a drive-in party, so you can come to that. Happy Wednesday, Tyler. Okay, so when I'm looking now at July, so not June, not last year or whatever. I'm still doing last year, but July. Hi, Stefano. So the first week in July was actually down 21%. And before people get mad at me and are like, you said everything's always up and blah, blah, and last week you didn't tell us. So yes, in the first week of July, there was less houses listed by 21%. But everything I told you before was factual. I was just saying, June 2020 versus June 2019. And I was saying June 2020 versus May 2020. And now I'm doing the first week in July versus the first week of July 2019. Okay? So there was 21% less houses listed, but 85% more of those homes sold. So in 2020, there was only 195 homes listed, but 155 of them sold. So 195 listed, 155 sold, which is awesome because the year before the same week, there was 247 listed and only 84 sold. So 155 sold as opposed to 84, and there was less listings too. And the sales price of those homes that sold was also up. And so in 2019, it was $526, and this year was $580. And so obviously that is amazing. I'm glad you will be there, Brandy. Hi, Lisa. I already said hi to Stefano. Okay, so that was the first week of July. And then the second week of July, there was also less listings again. So 27% less listings. However, still more sold. So I've been saying week after week after week, there's no inventory. So yes, that's what I'm saying. 27% less houses were listed. There's no inventory, but they sold for 13% more. So that is awesome. So in 2019, there was 290 houses listed that week, and only 132 of them sold. And this year, there was 213, so 213 versus 290, so less listed, but 174 sold, whereas last year only 132 sold. So that is great. And last year the average sales price was $521, and this year it's $588. Okay, so they sold for 13% more, which is great. Hi, Keelan. Thank you, Melissa, for the pretty earrings. Melissa started me on a pretty earring kick a week or two ago. When is the drive-through, Keelan? I sent you something in the mail, but just because this is live, I'm not going to say it on here just because then I could have 10,000 people show up. So I sent you something in the mail, but I will also call you, okay? Melissa, my earrings are from Ardeen. Oh, thank you for the 10. Oh, boo, Allison. Okay, I'll talk to you that later. That's not nice. Okay, for those of you that missed at the beginning and haven't seen, we are doing a $1,000 giveaway every month. So the only things you have to win are you have to live in Simcoe County and you have to be over the age of 18. So you can't nominate yourself, unfortunately, but you can nominate anybody else, okay? You can nominate your friend, your sister, somebody that works at Shoppers Drug Mart, somebody that works at Loblaws. We don't have Loblaws. No Frills. Zayers, whatever, your neighbor, and you just email us at info@crippshomes.com, and you just say, hi, I'm Grace. I want to nominate Becky. She's a single mom, or she's always pleasant to me at the grocery store, or whatever you want to say, okay? So $1,000 giveaway. Hi, Kennedy. Oops. I hate when I press that button. Oh, I did it again, twice. There, I did it. It's my nails. Okay, so back to statistics. In the past 24 hours in Barrie, there has been 9 new listings. 2 deals died, so it means somebody didn't get financing, or they didn't like the inspection, or they got cold feet, or whatever. So 2 people walked away. 7 conditionally sold, 15 sold firm, and then nobody got their keys actually in the last 24 hours. So when I say they sold firm but they didn't get keys, they sold firm but maybe they're closing in August or October or September or whatever, okay? And then Barrie, in the past 7 days, there was 42 new listings, which is awesome. 6 deals died. Kind of sucky, but I'm sure they'll sell again. 53 houses conditionally sold, which is crazy. Just like I was saying earlier, the amount is less that's listed than last year, but the amount that's selling is way more. So that's really great. So 53 conditionally sold, 88 sold firm. So they waived their finance, they waived their inspection, they put a sold sign on the lawn, and 51 people got their keys, and then 4 people expired. Their listing did not sell. And then obviously, like with houses and everything, there's cottages, right? So I've said each week that cottages are up. So people from the city, want to go to a cottage for the summer, or people even locally, want to get to a cottage, and they are thinking like, we're not to say trapped inside, but they're kind of over being at their house. So they want a cottage. So I've talked about people buying cottages, but I've never really talked about people selling cottages. So if you're selling a cottage and, it's been your family for however long or whatever, then you're going to have to pay capital gains unless you have said that it's your primary residence. So it depends what you've said. If you can't get away from it, if you can't get it as your primary residence, and you've rented it and you've showed the income over the years or whatever, then you have to pay the capital gains, which is 50% of your gain. However, there is like this promissory note that you can do, and basically then it'll divide it into 5 years, because if you put it all in 1 year and it's a huge amount, you could be in like the highest tax bracket depending on how much money the cottage has made, and then the highest tax bracket is 53.5% taxable, and you don't want that. So try and keep everything. If you can't say it's your primary residence, so say you put a dock in or a new kitchen or a roof or a deck or whatever, then you can write that off of the money that you have to pay them, okay? So in the past weeks, I've talked about like buyers buying cottages, but I thought I would touch on sellers selling cottages, okay? The market is muy caliente, very hot, Melissa, yes. Bueno español. Hi, Caitlin. Okay, so next question's from Marco and Ange in Hillsdale. So we have a big back deck in our yard that's lovely, but our lot is not very big, and it makes the basement really dark. Do you think we should put a smaller deck on instead? Thank you, Marco and Ange, for writing in. If, for example, your deck was like not safe and like the boards are kind of wonky and you're starting to replace boards anyway, then sure, you can make it smaller. But if there's nothing wrong with the deck and it's in good shape, I wouldn't, just because one, decks are expensive, and two, I'm sure your primary space is your main level, not your basement anyway. So I would not worry about the basement being a little bit darker. Just make sure you have bright colors down there. Don't have any dark colors. Have your blinds open, what have you. If you want to put in bigger windows, sure, but I would just do light colors, and I would just focus on your main living dining space and that big deck and having it nice and bright, and I wouldn't think about down below, just because I'm pretty much sure that that's more your living space than down underneath. Unless, like I said, unless it's not in the greatest shape and you're going to redo it anyway, then you could look at, making it smaller possibly, okay? So thank you for writing in. Hi, Christina. Hope you and the girls are well. What did I do? Okay, question from Marco and Ange. So, Barry in the last 7 days, I know I've said that, but I did not say condos. Okay, Barry in the last 7 days, condos. There's been 14 new listings. One deal died, they didn't get finance. 15 conditionally sold, 21 sold firm. 7 people got keys, and 2 unfortunately canceled their listings. So I have a question again from Brittany in Barry. What do you do if you're having a bad day to get out of a funk? Thank you, Brittany, for asking. I, to be honest, watch Britain's Got Talent with Simon Cowell. So I'll watch like their golden buzzer moments or whatever. I like that because I feel like they're always happy and whatever. So it's kind of hard to be grumpy when I watch that, or I'll watch like Just for Laughs gags or America's Funniest Home Videos or something on YouTube. Or I'll listen to like something on a playlist on Spotify that's like uplifting. So that's what I do. Sometimes even like jump around, like pretend I have a skipping rope, but I don't, and just jump around to try and change my mood. Get up from whatever I'm doing, but usually I just watch something funny. So thank you for writing that in. Okay, I'm jumping around, which I do often. In Egypt, they actually are now not making forests, but producing forests basically from recycled wastewater. So just 10 miles from this city, there's over 500 miles of forest, which is amazing since obviously it's so much desert there. And basically scientists found some way to like put oxygen into the water, and they said that wastewater is high in, I'm going to look at the words because I'm going to forget, phosphorus. That's without looking. What's the other one? Phosphorus and nitrogen. So basically they said by adding oxygen to it, it makes it like a miracle grow. And I don't know, there's 1.6 million acres of desert there. And so they want to put trees just because they know the benefits of that. Hi, Sam. Okay, so this question came in from Brenda in Horseshoe Valley. I know you're not married and have been very successful. I made a name for yourself. I'm also not married and have climbed many financial ladders myself and am the current CEO of a large company in Toronto. How have you dealt with people talking down to you or thinking you're underqualified, and do you ever get tired of always having to defend yourself? Thank you, Brenda, for writing in, and thank you for being a kick-butt lady and going after your dreams. To be honest, I don't really think about it. Like, when you're a kid and your parents like say if you have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all, or if you have nothing good to say, whatever, you know what I'm saying. So I basically, it's the same. Like, I just don't listen to them. It's kind of like bullies when you're a kid. You just don't pay attention. You go like on your path, and like I do my journals in the morning. I do my I am like affirmations. I do like little exercises. I do like flashcards and stuff of goals and so forth, and I visualize. So I just don't pay attention to them. I feel like it's their issue, it's their whatever. And sometimes, do I get frustrated with it? Sure. Sometimes I'm frustrated for 10 minutes. Sometimes I'm frustrated for an hour or 2 or 3 or a whole night, and I just like go to bed. I'm like, I'm over this day. And sometimes I wake up the next day and it's still around. But I try and like actively not have it be a part of my day, because I don't want it to come into my conscious and what I'm doing and what my plans are and what I want out of like myself and my goals and stuff. So hopefully that answers, but I just don't think about them at all. They have their own things. Why they're being negative to me is none of my business and has nothing to do with me. So I just focus on me and what I want and who I want to help and what I want to do. So thank you for writing in. Hi, Ishka. Hi, Jay. I saw pictures of Cookie and Perry the other day, Jay. They're always looking lovely. So thank you, Brenda, for writing in Essa, which is just west of Barrie. In the last 7 days, there was only 2 new listings, which is odd because it's military transfer time. However, even though there's only 2 new listings, there was 9 conditionally sold because there was more than just 2 total, just there was 2 new. So that makes sense that tons sold. 13 also went firm on top of those 9 that conditionally went sold, and 10 people got their keys. And then in Innisfil, which is where I bought my new property, which I did not move into, and I'm still here. I moved there for 3 days. There was 12 new listings in the past week. 2 deals died, unfortunately. 20 houses went conditional, and then on top of that, another 14 sold firm, and 17 people got their keys. 1 deal expired, and 1 deal or 1 listing canceled. There was recently 2 paramedics, and again, I like happy news, not sad news, and they picked up a gentleman, which is kind of sad news, or it is, but I still like the ending. So he has fought cancer for 17 years, so he's going to palliative care, and they asked him, if he could eat anything, what would he want, and he said a caramel sundae. So they sidetracked the ambulance and went and got him a caramel sundae. So I just thought it was cute. I just like different cute stories and not all doom and gloom stories, because what we think and watch and see and listen to and everything, we become a magnet to. So I just like to be a magnet to good things. So that's why I'm telling you stories like this and so forth. Okay. So another question, thank you for writing in, guys. Your questions is from Jesse and Aurelia. Again, if you want to write a question in the comments, you can. Otherwise, you can write between now and next Wednesday, and I will answer them next week. Or I will answer them via email if I get too many, okay? But this is from Jesse and Aurelia. Jesse said, I keep seeing you go to drag shows. How can I be notified of the next one? I do. My friend does it in Toronto. Josh does it in Toronto, which is not his name on Facebook. And to be honest, they go to a cottage. They have a cottage, so they don't do it every week. However, if you message me and then I have your contact, I can let you know once he says, okay, the next one's this Friday, Saturday, or whatever. It used to be at his place in North York, and now they've been doing it downtown Toronto in like a courtyard between apartment buildings. So because now more people are coming, so they need more space to space out. So just shoot me your contact, and I can let you know when the next one is, okay? But thank you for asking, Jesse. Hi, Perry. I hope you're doing amazing. Cookie's getting so big. Okay. On a side tangent, before I go into the next good news stuff, I'm just reminding, again, anybody for the contest that doesn't know, you can nominate anybody in Simcoe County over the age of 18, and they could win $1,000. You just have to say what your name is, what their name is, and why you think they should win, okay? And send it to info@crippshomes.com, and you have till the end of July to nominate them. You can nominate multiple people too, by the way. You could nominate 30 people if you want, okay? Okay, so more good news, because I like good news. In India, there is 60 million less people that they have categorized as malnourished than a decade ago, which is obviously amazing. And that is 20% down, because obviously they have billions of people. And Asia dropped from their malnourished people from 11.1 to 5.9. So again, I just like good news. Less people are starving and more people are doing well. Hi, Perry. Oh, that's cute. Sitting on your separate phones. Where is Cookie? She's probably up in her room. Okay. And since I'm on the kick of India, so there is a slum there where they taped Slumdog Millionaire, actually, which is in Mumbai. And just in the one slum alone, there's 1 million people. And in Mumbai, there was 500,000 cases of COVID. And in this one slum of 1 million people, they managed to only have 2,000 cases of COVID and only 79 deaths. So I just wanted to see like why that was or whatever. And so basically they sent 2,450 health workers in, and they were doing tests on people every single day. They just go nonstop. And then if they found somebody that tested positive, they would find out the top 5 places that they had been, like my sister's, the pharmacy, or wherever they were, or I don't know, the places. And then they would go there and test around there, and they were able to contain it. So again, I just like good news. Obviously, COVID has lots of bad news. However, I just like good news in it. So I wanted to share that. And then they opened up 350 private clinics, because originally people were thinking that it was like bad and they'd get in trouble if they tested positive. So they wouldn't tell anybody if they had signs or symptoms. And then they were continuing to go out and about. And because everybody lives so close, and some in shacks and some in tents and some in like 1-bedroom rooms, they couldn't distance themselves. So they were scared to tell people. So they educated people, so then they knew, okay, we're not going to get in trouble if we have it, if we test positive, and they were able to contain it. So I think that is awesome. Okay. Now, I have a question again from Jake and Kara in Oro. We currently have wood siding that badly needs a paint job. I have a friend who does vinyl siding. Should we just go all vinyl or keep what we have, or should we do a stone skirt and paint? So thank you, Jake and Kara, for writing in. I wouldn't do vinyl. People don't like come, and when they're buying real estate, they're not like, oh, I want vinyl or whatever. I would keep the wood siding. I know it costs a lot to paint, but it's not as much to do vinyl siding. And if they were the same price, I find people like the wood siding better anyway. So I would do the wood. If you have the funds to do the skirt, you could. In the current house that I'm in, I don't like the skirt of it, the stone. And I looked at prices, and I still have that skirt because it didn't make sense. I wasn't going to get the funds out. Okay, so if you want to do it, but what you're going to spend and what you're going to get back is not going to equate. So I wouldn't. I would just paint the wood siding. So thank you for asking. Oh, she's finishing her chores. Good. That's good of her. You have to teach her. Thanks, Scotty. Okay, so thank you, Jake and Kara, for writing in. Okay, and then in Oro, in the last 7 days, why did I say Oro? Oh, because I think I went to that because Jake and Kara were from Oro. So Oro, for anybody that doesn't know, is between Barrie and Aurelia. So in the last 7 days, there were 16 new listings, 3 deals died, and 18 conditionally sold, 11 sold firm, and 12 people got their keys, and 2 listings expired. And then in Springwater, which is northwest of Simcoe, or Barrie, not Simcoe, it's still in Simcoe, 7 new listings came up, 2 deals died, 10 sold conditionally, 5 sold firm, 7 people got their keys, and 2 listings expired. So that is all of that. That's all I was going to say. Minus enter people for the $1,000 giveaway. Guylaine, you can enter 20 people if you want. I see you there watching. And I know, Jay and Perry, you don't live in Ontario anymore, but you could still enter. I'm sure you still know people in Ontario. And Scotty, you haven't entered anybody, but you're welcome to enter 10 people if you want. I hope you guys have an awesome week. We do a contest every Friday, and the winners announced Monday, so check out my Facebook wall for the contest. And I will be back next Wednesday for a live. Hope you guys are all amazing. Thank you, Jay, for the good work. Thumbs up to me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great day, guys.